What's going on, guys? Today we're going to do a recap of a weightlifting meet. It's actually the Illinois State Amateur Open going on 2 weeks ago that I participated in. I want to do kind of a recap video and just talk about my experiences and kind of the failures and successes that we had. Rye went with me. He was my coach, much needed because I didn't really know what was going on. But yeah, so the day kind of started off as a normal day. It was a Saturday. I was weighing in at 3 o'clock and was supposed to lift at 5. So we got there, I think 1:30 maybe, something like that, maybe 2 o'clock. I wanted to make sure I was weighed in and all good to go. So yeah, we weighed in at 3. I was 92.3 kilos, so I was perfect. I was well underweight, which I was excited about. That was my first weight cut ever.
How did you manage your weight cut in terms of
That was actually a good question. To be honest, I didn't cut calories. I didn't really I did cut calories. I didn't really track my calories. Sorry, I did cut calories, and really I just told myself I was going to be a little hungry every day. I meal prepped relatively well, and in the last few days I kind of just definitely took some good cuts of my calories. I think the lowest I ever was weighing in beforehand was 92 kilos or something, 93 kilos. So I knew I was close. And I weighed myself the morning of, and I was well under, so it wasn't as hard as I thought. Actually.
I thought you did a pretty good job. I mean, for your first weight cut.
Yeah.
Because I mean, just seeing you in the weeks leading up to it, you did a good job of maintaining a good rate of. I mean, you didn't want to do it too soon or too late. So I mean, I felt and you felt comfortable enough going into it where you weren't cutting a lot and feeling weak as hell.
That was my biggest worry because like Rye said, I've never played a sport where you had to be a certain weight. I was always trying to bulk up for football and baseball or whatever. And so being under a certain weight was a new thing for me, and I think, it was tough. I was hungry for the weeks leading up to it, but it wasn't terrible or anything. So anyways, we weighed in at 3, and then we went and got some Jimmy John's and put on a couple pounds, which was nice. And then basically we were supposed to start lifting at 5, and we were going to start with the snatch. And I think they were probably 45 minutes late or something. Yeah,
they were. I mean, they looked like they were running behind a lot, which I mean, at the time we couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
So you started getting loose at 4:15.
Yeah.
Expecting to lift at 5, and then I remember you were stretching out and stuff like that, and then I think even 4:45 rolled around, and you're kind of getting a little antsy and stuff, so you. Start warming up. I mean, I was trying to get you to wait, but I could tell you were all antsy and stuff.
I totally wanted to get moving.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think you ended up lifting. I don't think your weight class even started until about 5:30.
Yeah, it was 5:30, 5:45, something like that. And that was one thing that I didn't really understand going into it. Basically, what they do is they start with the lightest opener in your division, and they only add weight to the bar, so it kind of makes sense. But I didn't know where my opener was in terms of everybody else, and it was a little bit higher than most of the other lifters there, so I had to wait a pretty good amount of time. Some people had already done 2 or even all 3 of their attempts before I started, so I warmed up way too early. I was a little nervous and pretty hyped up, so I kind of just jumped into ripping weights, and I was probably ready to go at 5:15 and ready to roll. And like we said, I didn't lift till probably 5:30. I think it was even later, 5:45.
Yeah. That was a solid hour and a half warm up you had.
Yeah, which was way longer than my normal warm up at the gym. Normally the warm up at the gym is 15, 20 minutes, get moving and go for it. So that was definitely something I want to improve on next time. But so anyways, we started out with the snatch. I opened up at 105 kilos, which is 231 pounds.
Yeah.
And so my all-time max is 265 pounds, which is about 120 kilos. And so I wanted to start relatively, light and work up from there.
I mean, honestly, luckily, we kind of programmed even a little bit below that.
Yeah.
Because, so I mean, imagine if he missed his opener at 105.
Yeah.
We had planned to go on to 110, assuming he would hit that easy, and he missed that, so we stayed at 105 for a second attempt, and then went up to 110 we skipped 110 because we figured we already we were still so far below his max, So went for 115 on his last attempt and he missed it. But if we had even started heavier than that, that might have been a sticky situation, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad we started at 105 and went from there. I think going into it, I'm looking at 105 like, I should be able to, power snatch it. That should be easy. But getting on the platform, lifting with some different bars and different plates and different, weight total amounts, because it wasn't kilograms, was a little different for me. But generally, I definitely could have. I hit 110 in the warm-up room, and I felt like I should have done a lot better than that. So I was a little disappointed in that.
I think for the most part, I attributed the snatch session just to such a long warm-up. I mean, I could tell even by the end of your warm-up, it just wasn't looking as good, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
And normally, we take a minute or two between like warm-up attempts, something like that, and I was taking like 8 to 10 minutes. So it was kind of messed up, but it's definitely a great learning experience for me going ahead. I'll see where my opener attempt is compared to everyone else's, and I'll kind of gauge it better. So it was a good learning experience. After the snatch, there was a little bit of downtime, and it was actually kind of nice. I got to kind of chill out, and I felt a lot better going into the clean and jerk.
Get your mindset right too, because
totally.
We were both kind of pissed about the snatch.
I was a little frazzled. I was pissed. Rye was trying to calm me down. It was good though. So we started the snatch, and I had a little bit better of idea where my opener was compared to everyone else's. I opened at 140 kilos.
Clean and jerk.
Did I say snatch?
Yeah.
Yeah, clean and jerk. So I opened up at 140 kilos, which is I think 308, which is a weight that I should be clean and jerking relatively easily, and I felt really good about that. I think my warm-ups felt pretty good.
I mean, even going back to what you said, like this was a great learning experience, because even for me, I had planned on lifting at this, but injury kind of kept me out for the weeks leading up to it, but so I just came to coach. But it was a good experience, even at my first time, instead of lifting, but I was coaching Kev, and like we said, the snatch session didn't go great, but I was still able to kind of get a feel for okay, if I'm coaching Kev or whoever it may be, how do I get them prepped? How do I keep their mindset right? And then just checking the table, seeing what weights they're at and stuff. And so for both of us, as Kev the lifter and me as a coach, going into the clean and jerk session, we both, I think, had a little bit more mental confidence, because we're okay, we've been through one of these now. We kind of know what the show is going to be here. Definitely. And I think it definitely showed with Kev's performance in the second session.
Yeah, Ryan definitely helped me out a lot with the clean and jerk. I think just keeping me on schedule, like you said, was the biggest thing. So I opened at 140, hit that pretty easily. I felt really good about that. Second attempt was at 145, which was 319, I believe, and hit that pretty easily. I felt pretty good about it, and so we took our third attempt at 150, which was 330, which was definitely a jerk PR for me, and I'd cleaned and hang clean 335 before, so it was slightly under my all-time max, but still relatively heavy, and it was a PR clean and jerk. So I hit that one, felt really good about it. I actually tied for the highest clean and jerk, so I felt decent about that. I was just still kind of pissed about the snatch. But generally, I think we learned a ton about how a meet's run, how to warm up for a meet, and even how to taper before a meet, how to do the weight cut. That was all brand new to us, and we definitely learned a ton, and we're looking forward to doing our next one.
Yeah, I mean, I think our outcome at the end of the day, so Kev ended up taking 4th place out of, I think there was 20-something guys in the weight class. Yeah. So, I mean, we were a little upset about the snatch showing, but he made up with it with a great clean and jerk showing. And I think, overall coming out of that, both of us going to our first weightlifting meet, walking out of there, 4th place, I think that was overall a pretty good showing.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, I saw that there was lower 20s as far as the 94 kilo lifters, and I was like, if I could go top half, that'd be great. After the snatch, I wasn't feeling too good, but I'm glad we kind of, did better on the clean and jerk. Generally, I mean, we'll be doing more of these. We'll probably do a meet recap after every time we do a meet. Yeah. Hoping to get Rye in the next one.
Yeah, we're looking at maybe mid-May, early June or something like that, so then we can hit. There's a big one coming up at the end of July that we both want to be ready for, and I'd like to get one under my belt before then. So we're hoping to get another one in the next month or so, and we'll go from there.
Keep you guys posted.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. We'll see you in the next one.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I don't think we can do the July one.